Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show.
Cup of Joe Wrestling Show
with Joey Harris. A podcast for the wrestling fan on the go. So take your favorite beverage of choice and join Joey.
Welcome, everyone, to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Joey Harris, and we are broadcasting from makeshift studios in the shadow of South Central Virginia. You can follow the show on Twitter and Blue Sky at Cup of Joe Pod. You can email the show at cupofjoewrestlingshow@gmail.com. You can also support all the things that I do at patreon.com/babykangaroo media for bonus episodes of the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show, the Joey Harris Super Show, the Green Room, the Book Club Baristas, and so much more. Just $5 a month for hours of extra contents, behind the scene looks, a lot of fun, almost 100 pieces of content over there, just $5 a month. And if you would just like to throw me a couple of bucks separate from that, I would appreciate it. Buy me a cup of coffee or whatever. I am on Cash App and Venmo at the Joey Harris or paypal.me/Cup of Joe Pod. But speaking of the Patreon, back again with my co-host for the Cup of Joe on Patreon, Tyler, to talk about WrestleMania 42 Night 2. Tyler, how are you, sir?
Oh, not too bad. Tired, long day, you know. Like I was telling you before the show, I did like a lot of driving. I've done a lot of driving just in the past like few days.
And you're on vacation from your regular job, which includes a lot of driving. So
yes. Well, to put it this way, you know that I live in Bangor and that my mom is from Northern Maine. So to the exit she gets off at is 80, I think it's 83 miles. And then it's another 9 miles into town. So I did that Sunday, and then I did that today. So that's drive up, drive down, and then drive up, drive down.
Yeah, that can be a lot, and it can just tire you out. But we're back to talk about WrestleMania Sunday, WrestleMania 42 Night 2. That I think, I don't want to speak for you, but I think we both think was the better of the two nights of WrestleMania.
Yes. You could have absolutely spoken for me on that. That I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yep. But we were back again in Las Vegas, and the numbers have come out. Both nights they were about 5,000 or so down, maybe a little bit more. But it's going to end up being the same amount raised or even more because they raised ticket prices.
Right. Yeah.
And
I mean, from night one to night two had like 8,000 more people.
And as far as the first hour of night 2 was on regular ESPN, it was their highest rated program of the week. The first night, I heard that this morning, the first night on ESPN2 was the ESPN2's highest rating ever.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's definitely working for them. I think they're going to do this definitely for the big shows coming up. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if they're going to have another one this year, but I can't see them doing like WrestlePalooza on ESPN2, the first hour on ESPN2. But
no,
maybe SummerSlam they could do on ESPN or ESPN2. But WrestleMania Sunday began with the event's host John Cena hyping up the crowd. So back again. And then we started out with our opener, which was a great match to put on ESPN. Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. Femi was out first doing his, I don't like whatever that march or that walk that he does to the ring. I like Obafemi. I do not like that march.
Do you know what that is?
No, what is that?
He's imitating the Undertaker.
Oh, is he?
Like he created his entrance based off the Undertaker.
Okay.
He has said that publicly, yeah.
Maybe less arms, because to me it reminds me more of like the Bushwhackers when they were would do this. The audience
He
can't
just
see this.
want to have a very memorable
I guess it is
entrance.
memorable. I don't remember many other entrances. That I guess that is true. And so I said, while I was on Threads on Sunday, I said the crowd is into Oba. And then when Brock comes out, I said, Brock is getting more cheers than I expected. I said, he and Heyman look ready. I said, Brock is going to take his time. And then I said, if they wanted to do something shocking, they could make it go quick, like Goldberg versus Brock at Survivor Series. Test of strength. I said, Brock was making Oba look good. And then I said, I think I saw Rick Rubin in the crowd. I said, Oba going to Suplex City, and then Brock gets the F5, and Oba gets up from the F5. Responded with a choke slam. Femi then executed the fall from grace to defeat Lesnar. After Femi exited, an emotional Lesnar remained in the ring. He removed his gloves and boots and left him in the center of the ring, teasing retirement. Lesnar shared an embrace with Paul Heyman before waving to the crowd. So what do you think, Tyler?
So it was a good, nice, quick match. I don't know, because there's a lot of reports going around that he's not retired, that he is retired, but like I don't know if you caught it. He threw the X to Paul Heyman, which suggests it, which is like a thing saying like he's going off script. So like who knows? If he is retired, good for him. Like if not, see you at SummerSlam.
I honestly think that it is all part of a storyline. I think Heyman scripted it. They're like, this is what we're going to do. He's going to defeat you. Stay down. Stay in the ring. Femi's going to exit and then start taking your stuff off. Throw the X because people would be looking for that. Hey, I'm going off script. We'll embrace in the ring and then we'll go back. We'll get people buzzing. I said, I think it's going to come back that's the favor that Gunther is going to get from Heyman. He wants a match versus Brock at SummerSlam.
Maybe. Could be. We'll see.
Yeah. And then, so we go from there to the 6-pack ladder match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. The champion Penta versus Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rusev, and Rey Mysterio. So, go there. Oh, I said too many ads here in Virginia. I'm tired of that vote no commercial because we had the vote there. Ladder match time, Ray taking his time getting to the ring. I said Javon Evans' time to shine. I said that promo from Penta was different. I said nobody believes it was Penta's idea for this match because they said this was Penta's idea. Nobody believes that. And then I said, why is JD the punching bag? Because he was taking everybody's move. And then I said, is Michael Cole okay? Because like he was like flubbing like some lines and stuff. And then Evans was just doing some insane stuff. I said that was an insane leap by Evans. I said, I hope now they let JD win. Everyone getting their time to shine. I said, this has been a crazy match. Ray is fearless. So they do, what was it? Like the, was it the Tiger Driver or something off of the ladder? I can't remember now who it was, Dragon Lee or Penta. One of them did something off of the ladder into like another ladder.
Oh, Penta hit JD with the sunset.
Okay.
Onto the ladder.
Onto the ladder. All right. they focus, but after this first time, they didn't go back to it, and I'm sure they cut it out. On the far side, Javon was starting to get up to do whatever he was going to do next, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to show this again." So the referee on that side was like, he visibly said on camera, "Stay down. You need to stay down a little bit longer." I laughed so hard. Not a lot of people did, but I laughed so hard when I saw it because his mouth was visible. He's like, "Stay down. You need to stay down a little longer." But it ended up, somebody's like, I thought they were just going to have Rusev take it because he was just so different. And he was slinging those ladders around, but it ended up Penta retrieved the championship, retained the belt.
See, I didn't think Rusev was even going to be a person. I didn't think Dragon Lee, Rusev, or JD were going to be winners of the match because they didn't even get entrances.
Yeah. I said insane first hour of WrestleMania. I said the ending surprised me, but it's not who goes over, it's who gets over. And that cutter that Javon did from
the top
the top rope to yeah. Although Rusev had to kind of stick himself out there a little bit.
Yeah, he did. Because when I saw that, I was just thinking, like, man, it's cool, but it's like, why would Rusev like jump himself out there off the ladder to get hit with the move? But hey.
Yeah. I said the rest of the card has a lot to live up to because the first two matches were strong. And then I said, I have absolutely no interest in Club WWE.
See,
I said they came back from a commercial to go to a commercial.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. Every card or every match on the card I was interested in, with the exception of the next match coming up.
I said the IC and US matches back to back. I said we don't like Sammy, but we will sing his song, The Fans.
Yep.
And then Little Yachty with Trick. Okay. So then Trick comes out and he comes down and there's like a long veil or part to his coat, a long train, I guess. I said, I don't get the long train on the coat, but I guess it's not for me. I said, what I like about Sammy is that he commits to whatever he is asked to do. And then I said, I paused it to go to the bathroom, but I told my wife that there are 4 minutes of commercial after every match, so it's easy to catch up.
True.
But so then Trick gets the win. He's the new U.S. champion. I said, I think this is going to be Sammy's Daniel Bryan moment. That he's just going to keep going further and further down until the fans come back on his side, and then they're going to put the title on him. I think that's going to happen.
Maybe. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't watch the product enough anymore. I just watch like the big pay-per-views now.
Yeah. So then we went and we got the street fight. Finn Balor as the Demon versus Dominic Mysterio. I said, I expect Finn to win, but Dom always entertains. I've never understood the Demon thing. And then I said, night 2 is vastly better than night 1. Dominic is selling his ass off. Dominic entertains me to no end. Dom is getting frustrated. I said that kick to Dom followed by the coup de grace looked brutal. But by this time, Tyler, I think that the crowd was starting to like wane a little bit. They're like, it's too much.
Very much so.
So they could go, and from what I heard, water was $25.
$25, jeez.
And like, what was something else? I want to say pizza was $40. Yeah. So I don't know.
Did Did your friend there, that also wrestling podcast, did he end up going this year?
I think they did
Keith.
because yeah, Keithy and Pete, the guy he does it with, was the other guy that we met down there. They went because they're still doing their podcast, but they usually take off the week that they go to a pay-per-view, and they didn't have a show this past weekend. But I have not heard anything from him. I need to reach out and see how he's doing.
Okay, you need to ask him how much water and
Oh, I'm sure they're
whatever.
going to talk. I'm sure they're going to talk about it and stuff because they were out there for, I think, like 4 days.
Mm.
So then we got Jade versus Rhea was next. And I said Rhea, I think, is arguably the biggest star WWE has at the moment.
Other than Roman, it's hard because it's like Roman, CM Punk, and Cody are still. I know people are getting on like the sick of Cody train, but he's still a huge star.
He is. He still sells plenty of merchandise, and he still gets up and does absolutely every single thing they ask of him. He wears the 3-piece suit. He'll go on any interview. He'll stay as long as you want him to. So, but I think as far as like star power, like I think Rhea is definitely up there. I said this does not need to be a long match. Jade with the early advantage. I said crowd seems to be dead for the match, trading blows. I said this match isn't hitting for me. And then EO comes out to kind of even the odds. And I said sloppy but effective riptide there at the end. I don't know if it slipped or what, but I'm like, I think at some point Rhea's like, all right, we played long enough. It's time to go home. I don't know if they needed to or not. So John Cena comes out and he's like, we're going to do the I'm going to announce the attendance, but that's kind of sad for me because that means my time as host will be over after I do that. You've been a great thing.
Oh, jeez.
You had forgotten about this, hadn't you?
I did. And how could I? Because then, Michael Cole, I'll say it.
Miz and who's the guy he's been with?
Unimportant.
Shoot. Now I need to know his name. Oh, shoot. It is just totally, I'm blanking on it. It's the guy who's been going back and forth with Danhausen.
Kit Wilson.
I wanted to say Trick Williams. I'm like, it's not Trick Williams. Trick Williams was facing Sammy. Kit Wilson. And the Miz come out and they're like, no. And they interrupted. And then all of a sudden we hear, you are cursed. And I'll say what Michael Cole said. Danhausen came out with a group of midgets. And then he's like, folks, don't get on me. They said to call them that. They said it, so don't message me. Don't send me anything on social media. They said to call them that.
And I was like, man, Michael Cole's gonna get canceled now, saying midgets on air.
And so then they did their whole thing with Danhausen, and then so they chased the Miz and Kit Wilson out, and that was the next thing was the funniest thing when he does this disappearing thing. It's just like pop. And John Cena's like, and then you see him like scrambling to get up under the thing. I laughed so hard. That was funny.
You know what? I'll give it this. It was more entertaining than some of the stuff that happened.
Absolutely. And I said this, and I fully believe it. You know, we talked about Cody, but I said, we don't deserve the Miz. That guy does whatever is asked of him, and he does not care. Yeah. And then my wife said, I thought you were fast forwarding through the commercial. I said, I caught up. Roman, and then we get the main event, Roman being played out with highlights of his family on screen, Roman looking all business as he comes out. And then Punk's entrance, they start with like the little mini movie type thing. And then it goes into his Ring of Honor entrance, which he said he would bring back if he ever got to main event WrestleMania. So he did. He comes out. He does the it's clobbering time, and it goes into Cult of Personality as he goes down to the ring. His entrance, I said, was something else. And on the jacket, he had the list of some people who had passed away, who he was close to, or people who the WWE was close to. And on the back, a crown for Harley Race, and on the front, a picture of his dog, his late dog, Larry. And I said, Punk's entrance and jacket hit me hard. The bell rang for the main event before 9 o'clock Eastern time. I said, Punk is in white, so he is going to bleed.
Mm-hmm.
I see he's enjoying himself. And then I said, let these two cook. And then I just stopped like tweeting or threading or whatever you would call it, and just enjoyed the main event. And they went back and forth. They went out into the crowd. They went onto the tables. And then Punk did the first time he set up like he was going to do it, and Roman kind of recovered and they went back and forth. But the second time he put Roman on the table, and he did the elbow drop from the top through the table, and immediately the referee went over there and asked both men if they were okay.
All right, so something we have to talk about.
Okay.
Because it was a very phenomenal main event.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was match of the night. Probably match of WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Roman hit him with steel steps. He should have been disqualified.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But they talked about the entire match like, oh, the referee's giving them a lot of leeway, like not counting and all of that. But I agree with you. But I do like that late in the match, they had a callback to last year. I don't know if you realized it. Good to me, I caught it right away. Referee is out, and Punk low blows Roman because he's like, well, damn, that worked last year when Heyman did it, and then they turned on me with Seth. Let's try it again this year. So he does it, and then I believe did the go to sleep, and Roman kicked out, and Roman kicked out, and then hit him with 2 spears.
He fell on his shoulders first, if I remember right, didn't he? And
I
then
think
he
so.
got up
Yeah.
for the second GTS and then fell down. And then Roman did he hit him with a... See, I can't remember now. I know he finished it off with a spear.
Yeah. Did he hit him with the Superman punch?
I think so, because then he when Punk got back up, he ran, he hit the rope, went back, and then speared him.
I also like that during the match, Roman hit the GTS and Punk did the Superman punch.
Mm-hmm.
They went back and forth. But they played it. So Roman is once again, is world heavyweight champion, not universal champion. He's world heavyweight champion.
WWE.
WWE.
Yeah, I don't think they call it universal anymore, right? I think it's just back to WWE.
The one that Cody has is the undisputed champion. Let's look and see what Wikipedia says, because it does have the names of the matches on there. I mean, it does have the name of the championships on there.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Cody Rhodes defeated Randy Orton. It's a singles match for the undisputed WWE champion.
And the other one was the world heavyweight champion.
The world heavyweight.
So we'll be interested in going from there. And it looks like, I don't know where, because they were kind of setting up something with Cody and Punk on Monday for Raw, or that he wants a shot at the title. And he said that Roman was the better man on the night, and he was just an old man at the time. But that for that one instance, Roman was better, and they're setting up the Usos come back with Roman, and then they set up Jacob Fatu,
yeah.
which he says Roman says he's not ready for that. So that'll be interesting. But I think, Tyler, there's a lot in between now and SummerSlam, even though SummerSlam is the 1st and the 2nd of August. So a little earlier.
They're coming soon, yeah.
Yeah, but it's coming soon. But in between that, I saw today they're going back to Riyadh for Night of Champions, at least in between. And they also got Backlash. I think it's the next one for next month at some point. I think there's going to be a couple of things, but they may have a quiet do Backlash and then Night of Champions and then nothing in July because SummerSlam is so early. Because I think they're doing like a Clash.
Isn't Money in the Bank in July?
Money in the Bank's in September in New Orleans.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, they changed that. Because usually you're right, Money in the Bank's either in late June or early July. And then they used to have like 6 to 8 weeks off because SummerSlam used to be at the end of August, but now it's the 1st and 2nd. But I think they'll probably get Saturday night's main event in there for something. They've got a lot to set up. And I think sometime in late August, they're doing like a Clash in Milan or Paris, is overseas somewhere and all of that. So Tyler, first of all, let's talk just night 2. What were your overall thoughts?
Overall thoughts is night 2 is much better. Like I said, there was only really one match I didn't care about. I didn't really care for the Trick Williams Sami Zayn match, and it has nothing to do with Trick Williams. I think Trick is really popular right now, but it's kind of the I'm bored of Sammy type thing. Like it's the same thing. He's thrown into a WrestleMania, and he's either the underdog or whatever, and it's just, I don't know, it's getting boring watching him, in my opinion.
No,
and that was it. Really, the rest of it was good. Like I said, the Roman Reigns versus CM Punk alone, I think made night 2. I was really happy that that Oba won.
Yeah. I think I could definitely see within 5 years a one night of WrestleMania being headlined by Trick Williams versus Obafemi.
Could be.
I could definitely see that. I think Javon Evans looked good. I think that they see him as definitely a star. I think he does need a title before the end of the year, though.
Just start pushing the younger talent. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I love like Cody and Drew McIntyre and whatnot, but they're in their 40s to mid 40s at this point. So it's like you got to start building young talent.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we saw a bunch of people get called up from NXT on Monday. Like Ethan Page got called up, Saul Ruka got called up, and then went back for her kind of like a last man standing match. Did you see that end of it?
No, I didn't.
Whoever she was, I don't watch NXT and follow it, but whoever she was wrestling goes to throw her off of something, and it's supposed to be onto 2 of the Slim Jims table.
Oh, yes, I did see.
And she only hit one,
and it looked like the back of her head might have like graced one of the tables. Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, that didn't look good at all. Yeah, but you're right. They need to make start elevating some people, and you can do it with. You could do it with people like Obafemi, Trick Williams, Braun Breaker now back, although he'll be with Seth for a while. Jacob Fatu, and all of that. And somebody said that there's another member of the Samoan family that's Fatu's going to bring in. I did see that.
I think just WWE's problem right now, and you probably saw this, but like TKO is like has more creative control than we actually
Oh yeah.
thought
Oh yeah.
that they've been sticking their nose in. So I think that's been a problem. On top of, I think it's too heavily advertised now. Um, I wish it would go back to being a little bit simpler, but what do
Yeah.
I know? I'm just some guy from Maine.
But I mean, they were talking about Las Vegas gave them $6 million to come back. They gave them Nevada gave them 4 million in tax credits. They made like 55 million just on tickets each night.
Jeez.
That's not merchandise. That's not any food that they get a percentage of from the venue. That's just tickets and all of that. And somebody said that, but this is for everybody. All of their contracted talent, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, main roster, and NXT, that they made something like 1.2 billion or something last year, WWE, and the talent got 15% of that. And I was listening to a podcast, and the guy was like, "Yeah, a lot of the other of it went to TKO's debt because they're in massive debt. That's really what a lot of this is about. They owe too much money around, so they know, hey, these people will pay whatever it is." And then somebody else said, next year when they go to this was on another podcast I was listening to, basically what we said, they said they should not run a show against them, but AEW should sponsor a weekend where fans just go and like meet wrestlers and just hang out and go to smaller shows and stuff. They were saying New Orleans. I'm like, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Nashville.
Yes.
Richmond
Close.
would be nice.
Close to us.
Tyler would come down for that. Tyler would definitely come down for that. The Richmond's like
Absolutely.
45 minutes away from me. So overall, what are your overall thoughts? If you're like me, night 2 much better than night 1.
Much better. I would just, if I was out of a 5-star rating, I would say probably a 4, 4.5 maybe. It was good.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And
not to cut you off, but I think I kind of already hit the nail on the head. Just way too much advertising. I mean, you're talking way too much. And it's just, I miss and I think I said this on the first episode, but I miss the days back when, your commercial break, I put that in quotations for people that can't see, used to be like the video package of showing like why whoever's wrestling each other like came, like everything that built up to the match, and it was like it's a sick, cool video package. Then you went into the match, and it's like now we're getting like commercials and stuff. And then there was one point, I can't remember if it was night 1 or night 2, but you had to have seen it. It was like 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes of it just saying WrestleMania, and they were just counting down in the corner. It's like, why are we like, why? Like, this is, I hate it. Okay. But sorry, I'll let you go ahead now.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You were right. And like I was saying, here in Virginia, we had a referendum that was put to the vote on the Tuesday. So 2 days ago as we record this, but 2 days 2 or 3 days before the event. I mean, the event was 2 or 3 days before the voting. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And so it's a minute ad for vote no, and then a minute ad vote yes. And now I've wasted 2 minutes of my life that I'm never getting back for something I see 800 times a day anyway. But they're paying the money. ESPN's like, we'll take your money. We don't care. but it's just way too much, and they're just trying to get some of that money back. I mean, they spent over $1 billion to get the WWE because they wanted to launch their unlimited thing. Now, I did see this. I didn't do this, but a lot of people I heard from did. Is that on the ESPN app, if you like other things, you can have multiple screens going at once. You can have WrestleMania going, and then if you were watching the hockey game, that was going, and the NBA game was like a multi-screen type of a deal. So, overall grade for the entire event, Tyler?
4.
A 4.
4 out of 5.
So for both nights together.
Both nights together. I didn't really like the first night that much. I'll say between 3.5 and a 4 combined.
I could see that. I could see that because there were only like a couple of things that were good on night one.
Yeah.
Nothing was necessarily bad, but I think we talked about it when we talked about night one. It was like a good No Mercy or Bad Blood pay-per-view. It's not, to me, it wasn't a WrestleMania.
Yeah, it wasn't a WrestleMania pay-per-view, no.
Yeah, so. All right, but if you enjoy what Tyler and I do, we talk about it again, patreon.com/babykangaroomedia. We're going to talk about when we're going to record WrestleMania 2 after we stop recording, because that's coming up on the Patreon. And we also do Res Life recordings where we talk about crazy things that have happened in the world of college housing. I do the Joey Harris Super Show on there. So much, just $5 a month. Check it out, patreon.com/babykangaroomedia. But Tyler, go ahead and plug any and everything you have, my friend.
Oh, if you want to, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @TheTylerMCK. But you can't be a bot because I'm tired of getting something advertised to me. I'll just say that. Yeah. That's it, I guess.
I am on Facebook, Threads, and Instagram at The Joey Harris. If I'm on a social media, I made it easy for you. I'm at The Joey Harris. But we'll be back on Patreon. Tyler will join me again on the main feed when we do SummerSlam, because SummerSlam has become a 2-night. And I'm telling you, Tyler, eventually something's going to be 3 nights. A 3-night Royal Rumble. Rumble every night.
Too much.
Men's Rumble one night, women's Rumble one night, and then they could have, I think, a Samoan Rumble. And just get all the Samoans just in their own Rumble, because there's a lot of Samoans.
If they did, if any night or any event was going to be 3-night, it'd be WrestleMania. It'd be like Friday nights, like all NXT WrestleMania, and then Saturday's night, the quote unquote night 1, and then night 2 is Sunday.
One change I would make, I realize this. They need to get the Andre the Giant Battle Royal back on the main card. It shouldn't be on SmackDown. I think it needs to be on the main card. So, but if you like what we do here, folks, please leave a review on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, or your preferred podcast app. It helps people to find the show, and I would really appreciate it. We can also be found on Spotify and YouTube. Just search for the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. And don't forget to hit subscribe. So, for Tyler, this is Joey saying we will talk to you all next time.
Bye.
The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show is a production of Baby Kangaroo Media.